Welcome to the Seventh Dispensation Podcast. Today we're going to be reading the divine revelation from God called Alpha Quine, and the chapter that we are reading is called YHWH. And the book says this: there has been a lot of controversy surrounding the letters YHWH, or the tetragrammation, as it is commonly known. Now I want y'all to look up the word tetragrammation for those who don't know what that word means. These four letters were pronounced Yahweh by the Caucasian and European people. The so-called Jews. The so-called Jews found these letters YHWH on the wall somewhere and decided to use it as the name of God. Now let me read that again. The so-called Jews found these letters YHWH on a wall somewhere and decided to use it as the name of God. Now, we're going to stop right there for a minute, because we're talking about the name of God, right? We're talking about lies being told on God, lies being told about God, right? Now, if you research the word tetragrammation, and it talks about these four letters, YHWH, and the Jews, the so-called Jews, found these letters on a wall. No God ever came and told them this was his name. Nobody ever said, hey, this is God's name. They found some letters on the wall. Now, if you go back to the Bible, right, and the story where they talking about Jacob, and they said that Jacob wrestled with God, right? But I told you that the Alpha Quine, the divine revelation from God, says that Jacob was wrestling with a man who was coming to kill him. And it says that the translators, or the Jews, right? Well, the translators, yeah, later said that he was wrestling with God. But the actual story said that this was a man, and the man was one of Esau's soldiers, and the man was on the hunt for Jacob because he was coming to kill Jacob. And he found Jacob. And when he got to Jacob, they got to fighting, and Jacob got a hold of the man and said that I would not let you go unless you bless me. But the translators turned it into God. It never became God until they were wrestling. The whole story said it was a man. The whole story showed you what the man was doing on the hunt for Jacob. The whole story tell you that the man found Jacob. And then when they got to fighting and wrestling, the translators changed it to God. Now, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because in the story, while Jacob was holding this man or holding God, he asked him, what is your name? Now you can go back and you can read the Bible and see it for yourself. Jacob asked this man, or he asked God, what is your name? And according to the Bible, according to that Bible, the man or God told Jacob, why you want to know my name? See, he never told Jacob what his name is or was. So the Jews or Caucasian people never knew the name of God. Even in the story of Moses, when Moses went to free them from Pharaoh, Moses asked God, he said, what should I tell them if they ask me, what is your name? And according to the Bible, this is in the Bible, God never told Moses his name, but he told Moses was this: tell them the God of their forefathers has sent you to them. When Moses asked God, what should I tell them if they ask me your name? God never told Moses a name. He told Moses, just tell them the God of their forefathers has sent you to them. See, what this story is telling you is that their God, the God of their forefathers, the God who they had been deprived of by Pharaoh, because Pharaoh destroyed their history, Pharaoh destroyed their names, Pharaoh destroyed the knowledge of God. And he was teaching them his God and giving them his name. So God told Moses, just tell them the God of their forefathers sent you to them. Not the God of Pharaoh, but the God of their forefathers. So now when you fast forward to Jacob, and the man is coming to kill Jacob, and they got the wrestling, and the translators of the Bible changed it from a man to God. When Jacob asked God his name, God also denied Jacob access to his name and said, man, why you want to know my name? I'm going to change your name from Yaakov to Jacob. See, so they never knew the name of God. They have nothing where God said, hey, this is my name. What they did, they found some letters on the wall, YHWH, and then they added an A and an E and made it Yahweh and started saying this is God's name. So my question is to you, how do you know that it was missing the A and the E if all you found was 4 letters on the wall? How you know it wasn't an O and a U? How you know his name ain't Yo Woo? Yo Woo? How you know that ain't his name? Because y'all added the A and the E. Who told y'all that that was correct? So let's get back into this book. This is a message for the universe, for all of the holy ones, the chosen ones. Now it says this, right? The so-called Jews found these letters, YHWH, on a wall somewhere and decided to use it as the name of God. They then added the A and the E to form the name Yahweh. This could not be God's name if you added to it and made it up. I mean, listen what the book is teaching. This is a divine revelation from God, the Alpha Quran, and the book says this: this could not be God's name if you added to it and made it up. When God called Moses from out behind the burning bush, telling him to free his people from bondage, Moses asked, what should I say to them if they ask me what is God's name? God then told Moses, tell them I am who I am. Jacob even asked God what was his name, in which God responded, why do you ask my name? He never told Jacob his name. Now I'm going to stop right there, right? And we're going to come back later and get back into this, because this is a very important subject matter. The name of God, the lies that have been told about God, See, we're going to uncover all of this and we're going to get to the truth.